What's up, world? Lee here with Sticks, Strings, and Other Things, my teeny tiny itty bitty little corner of the internet where I come to you every other week, bi-weekly, to chit chat with you about all of the crafty things that I have been getting my hands onto. You can find me here as Sticks, Strings, and Other Things. Words are hard. You can find me on Ravelry as Kjellrain, and also Instagram, the same. Now, today is February 22nd. Yes, it's 22, too many twos. Too many twos. And this is episode 33. If only it was 32 or 22. That'd be fun. I have a hair somewhere over here. Right. I'm coming to you from a gloriously sunny but chilly Pacific Northwest. It is gorgeous today, though. Oh my God, I need to get out there before the rains start again or before it gets dark, which means like right after I do this. I want to do it before it gets dark. I am drinking a lovely cup of, what was it, bourbon black chai. It's really good. Now, let's get into the fun stuff. My fully finished objects, of which there are 0, except for in knitting, where it's just a finished object. So FFO doesn't make sense in my brain for I forgot one of them. Drat. I will be right back because I just remembered I have a second knitted object that I finished. One moment. Right, I'm back. And when I ran out, the Phoebe cat ran in. And now she's rolling around on the floor like a crazed thing, and will probably really want to be leaving the room soon. But she didn't want to yet, and as we all know, we do what the cat says. Don't we, Phoebe? Normally it's Stella in here, but this time it's Phoebe. Anyhow, I did grab my second finished knitted object. Let's start with the first. Hi, Phoebe. I have my Wild Bees socks finished. Yay! That means it is the second month in the year, and I have completed 2 pairs of socks. So far, I am well on my way to completing at least 1 pair of socks every single month. I know, it's just 2, but I'm going to take my wins where I can get them, people. So, these are the Wild Bees, and I will turn that sideways so you can really see it. I did use a contrasting cuff and toe because I knew I wouldn't have enough for a heel, cuff, and toe. These were from, oh, don't rub on the tripod. One moment. Don't rub on the tripod. What was I going to say? Oh, I knew I did not have enough contrasting yarn for a heel, cuff, and toe. I just had like a 10-gram mini, I think. It might have been a 20, but I knew I couldn't do this kind of heel. She's not going to behave. These are from the Curious Handmade. That is the designer. I forget her real name. And let me turn. Stop it. You silly girl. You silly kitty. Watch out or I'll pick you up and show you off to everyone. You know how you hate being picked up. Threats. Let's see if I can turn this so that you can see the bees. So yeah, they kind of look like bees going up, which is fun. So that is my first finish. I'm very excited, very delightful, considering plans are going to involve more socks. Getting these done is fantastic. The other thing, there it is. The other thing that I finished knitting-wise is my wallop cowl by I do not remember whom, using the Whimsical You advent calendar from last year. And this was laying out blocking. So there's my cowl. Does a delightful, you could probably do a triple, but double's nice and cozy. So it turned out glorious. I'm still very impressed at the fading. I'm still amused at the striping, but I'm still very impressed at the fading that she did. And it is all delightfully finished and blocked. and it was laying in my bedroom on my bed. It's sort of still blocking. It's dry, but I'm still going to lay it out on my bed for the rest of the day just to make sure, because wool feels dry when it doesn't necessarily get itself completely dry. It's one of the wonderful properties of wool, except when you're trying to block it. So that's where this was and why I almost forgot about it. But it is also a completed object. And that is all the completions that we have. I have no fully finished objects from the cross stitch world because, I mean, I had one last time. That's good enough, right? Now, let's get on to whips. And I have a few. Let's just say I've had a tiny bit of startitis. Tiny bit. I have my major plans that I'm trying to, you know, work on certain projects, like my whip go, which I have completed both squares for whip go this month. Good on me. And then I have my 4 major pieces that I'm trying to work on every week. Back up every month. And I've done 3 of those this month. This week I will be working on the 4th. And I'm going to pop one of them into the you're gonna go away for a little bit pile. We'll get there. Let's start with, oh my gosh, the mess that is this basket. Okay. Let us begin with my 24/7 project. And this is by the collaboration between Hands On Designs and Summer House Stitchwork. This is the French kitchen thing. This is the pear and rosemary one, and I am so close to finished. I have to finish these 2 little rosemary trees, and then there's a band or 2 down there. Let me look. Ooh, shiny. 1 band and technically 2, but one's big. One's big, so I'll count it. I am absolutely in love with this piece. I loved the first one that I did, which was a Hands On Designs one, and then this one is a Summer House one, and I love both of them. I mean, just look at that. Look at those colors. Oh, the text. Oh, it is so swoon-worthy. I am using all the called for fabrics and threads, and I'm in love with it. I don't think I'm going to be getting it done because it's my 25/7 project, which means I'm working on it 25 minutes a day. I don't think I'm going to get this done this month. I don't think I stitch fast enough to get all of that and all of that. But this is going to be done really soon. It will definitely be done before I film next. And I'm loving it. This piece. I cannot wait until I have all 4 of them done, plus the box. And of course, now the cat wants to leave. So we're gonna let the cat out. I'll be right back. And out she went. Right. I swear. She keeps me busy. So that was my 25/7 piece, my pear and rosemary. And then I worked on Jane Reese. I think I might have been working on that before I filmed last time, but I got a bunch done on it. This is Jane Reese by the Scarlet House, and oh yeah, look at that. Oh, I am in love with this piece. It's so gorgeous. I almost finished up this page, but just ran out of steam. I was just like, I need to not be working on red letters, but look at those gorgeous red letters. And ooh, not too many more red letters before I move on to red numbers and then red borders. Because, you know, Bristol Orphan Samplers, that's how they run. I still absolutely love this piece. Oh, I really adore every single one of these alphabets. Loving it. Really, really loving it. Boop. Let's pop this away. It's living in this glorious little foxy bag, which is adorable. I mean, look at those foxes. They are so sweet. So sweet. Then, oh goodness, I'm not sure what I worked on next, but I do have Anne Grimshaw, and I worked on her a bit, and she is the one who's going to go live somewhere else for a little while, because I frogged this 8 times. 8. And I just, I'm just kind of done. I have made it all the way across, so I will eventually be trimming that off. Oop, dropping. I have made it all the way across, and it was this motif right here that I just, oh God, I could not count. I did not know how to count. I could not remember how to count. It was absolutely ridiculous. Again, this is Anne Grimshaw, Scarlet Letter. I am doing this on 40 count Tawny Buff by Sassy's Fabbies. I do not believe she is in business anymore, and I am using Vicky Clayton Silks in her rubbed black. And oh, I finished up this one or this one. I don't remember where I started. No, I finished up this one and then started coming down this side. And there's the evil motif that I cannot count. I'm having some frustrations with Anne. So Anne is going to go away for a little bit. I know she was technically one of my I'm going to work on her every single month projects. But that's the wonderful thing about making plans. You can change them. And I do. Just like I was going to try and work down my whips and not start too many things. Make sure I started less things than started less things, finished more things. And then this past week happened, and let's just say my mind has changed. Or my actions have changed. But yes, she's going to live... Oh God, I need to clean. She's going to live over there. Because I can't count people. It's kind of important in a counted cross-stitch kind of way. Can't count. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Then I pulled out my Goth Temperature cabinet. Living in a wonderful spooky bag. And I know I called these bobbins last time. They're not bobbins. But yeah, I caused a horrible tangle over here. And everything is horrible. The world is a nightmare. It's terrible over here. Tangles and messes and oh my Lord, what has she done? There we go. There. I did get what I thought were all of my colors on these lovely tags. Not bobbins, tags. Beautiful colors, aren't they? Absolutely gorgeous. And then I started stitching away and realized I'm missing a whole bunch of DMC because I have all the DMC for the luscious, glorious temperatures, but I don't have it for all of the background stitching of the objects and the items and the... Oops. So that's when this one went away. But I did at least get a bit more done on the cabinet itself. Got the year stitched in. And the first 2 weeks of January are stitched. As you can see, I have some black thread. Oh, sorry, that's not black, that's blue. I have some blue thread from my books. Yeah, whatever. So there we go. Yeah, I started trying to fill in up here and started massively running out of colors and went, oh, that's a problem. This will eventually be a planter. I have the year 2022 at the top. It is not completely filled in. The numbers are not, but the background is. And I can't whistle today. And the first 2 weeks, look at those glorious books. The main part of the book is the high, and the little title-y bit is the low. Loving, loving, loving this. This was going to be another cat. I say another because down at the bottom there is a kitty. But I didn't, it was hard to see that kitty in my brain, and I'm like, I would kill my cat if it was up there like that, batting at my plants and my books. So I decided to put a bird in, and the first bird I put in, let's just say, it's a little big. It went up to like here. It was taller than my numbers, first off. And also it looked like a cross between a raven and a duck. Yeah, it was not right. It was not right. So I sat on it for like a day, went back and looked at it and went, mm-mm. No, 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 no. Duck Raven Boy has to leave. Got to get out of here. And then I pulled out a little tiny chart for just that tiny little bird. And I think it's sweet. I'm still thinking about putting a bat over here. Because I want it. Because I want to. And yes, feeling really good that I have the first 2 weeks of January in. And I will be eventually going out to get the last of the DMCs that I am missing in this piece. So frustrating. So very frustrating. But that's what you get for only concentrating on getting all the DMCs for your temperatures and not for the whole chart. Yeah. Well, my mistake. Still, really love my books. Oh, and this is using all, obviously, DMC. This is a 32 count sugar maple fabric in Star Quest. And it's 28 count, not 32. 28 count sugar maple fabrics in Star Quest. I know she is no longer in business, but it's just a glorious piece. Let me see if I can actually grab the fabric so I can fold it so I can put it away. We'll see. I have been pulling this out on Sundays to give it a little bit of love, and that is what I will continue to do until I'm completely caught up. And then I will probably continue to do that so that I stay completely caught up because, you know, days keep happening and therefore books keep needing to be stitched. So, yeah, that's how that works. Delightful. Where am I putting my stash? Oh, I should probably put those threads back in here too. Lest I go, where did these purple? They're blue. Where did these blue threads come from? 823 and 936, if I remember correctly. We'll just throw you over there. Oh, whew. We'll get to that. We'll get to that now. Why not? It's all chaos up in this house today. I couldn't concentrate this week very well. I just kept, squirrel. Everything was squirrel this past week. So I was in here kitting up projects because I don't have enough started already or kitted already. So I started kitting up even more projects because that's what I do, evidently, when I'm stressed. And yeah, I kind of created a bit of a mess. There's a stack of fabric over here. I mean, I kid you not, people. I have a stack of fabric over here on top of a couple boxes of charts that I have that I'm getting cut. It's chaos in this house, or in this craft room. All right, next up is, where's my other start? I may have to run back outside to figure out. Oh, I found it. Yeah, I'm a professional podcaster. Can't you tell? Apologies, people. Right. Living in this lovely bee bag. I just love the honeycombs. They're so fun. Living in this lovely bag is a new start. I bought this last year when it first came out. Never started it. This week I decided to start it. This is By the Bay Needle Arts, or Needle Art. Is there an S or isn't there an S? By the Bay Needle Art, or Arts. Home Sweet Home. I am doing this on a piece of Bestitch Me fabrics, 40 count in sand dollar. Yeah, sand dollar, using all of the called for threads. I am obviously choosing to do this all on one piece, so I have started filling in all of the border here, and then I started in on the very first house, which was what, elm? No, something. I don't remember the name of the first house, but the first house goes here, and I have the outline of one of the trees. I love her trees. I just love her trees. I think that's why I enjoy doing By the Bay Needle Art projects, is the trees. The trees delight me. She is one of the people whose trees I love. There's a couple designers whose trees I love, but she's one of them. So I made it to this point, and then I got really tired of DMC 730 and put it away. So this is as far as it gets to this side. Right here is where it will go down. And there will eventually be 12 houses. I think 4 or 5 of them are out right now. I am well behind, yes, especially since I bought this when the border came out. Didn't start it. Wasn't planning on starting it anytime soon, and then this past week happened, and I went, I'm starting it, because that's what I do. And then I decided, well, if I'm just going to be starting things, let's throw caution to the wind and to heck with everything, and let's start whatever I want, because it's better than stress buying. So stress starting is what we're doing. Stress starting. Living in this cute little kitty bag is my Owl Forest embroidery by Yun Cat, which I started yesterday. I love this. I purchased the whole kit. I remember talking about it on here when I went, oh my god, they showed up so fast, because they did. I was like, I don't have any plans of starting this anytime soon, and then, well, I decided to start. Look. Oh, the colors. This thread is to die for. Love, 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 love their threads. Shall I say it again? I love them. It's so nice, and they work really well for me. I don't have enough good things to say about this. So pretty. So pretty. That is, again, by Yun Cat. It's such a cute kitty. I still love the mice in the forest. They just little things that make me happy, and that is one. Boop, boop, boop. That is all I started when it comes to stitching. But then I also have knitting whips, and I've started less of those. Less. Not none, but less. Living in this little bag by Katie did bags, because I'd forgotten. I have to zip this up so I can show this off. Look at the zipper. Ah, that zipper. I'm not saying that half the reason I bought this bag was for the zipper. Half the reason I bought this bag was the zipper color on this funky black and white. Yeah. Living in here is my Lamina wrap by Amba O'Brien. I am using, let's turn it the correct way. I am using the High Tea Advent from Canon Hand Dyes that I opened last December. And oh yeah, this is gonna be an amazing fade. Oh, look at that. This is lace, so right now on the needles it looks kind of poopy, because that's just how lace works. But when it, there we go. We'll just put it over the black. There we go. When it opens up after blocking, oh, it's just gonna be gorgeous. I love how this is fading. No, kitty, you don't get to come in. I love how this is fading. These are not really my colors. I am not an orangey, harvesty kind of colored person. I more bought this Advent because I went, tea? I'm gonna have to let the cat in. One moment. have let the cat in. It is Phoebe again. She'll just be wanting out in like 5 minutes, but if we make it that long. Anyhow, back to my lamania. Lanamia? One moment. I know I said it just like 5 seconds ago, and I've already forgotten how to pronounce it. Lamina wrap. There we go. Let me guess, you want to leave again? My lamina wrap. Let's get back to my lamina wrap. I am not, like I said, much of a autumn colors. I bought this more because tea. You can't go wrong with tea. You can't go wrong with tea colors. So I was all over this because of the tea portion of the thing, and less about the, wait, what colors are teas? They're browns. But I am absolutely loving how this is knitting up. I am adoring this fade. This fade is giving me life. I just, oh, so amazing. So pretty, so pretty, so pretty. And, since it's so autumny, I decided to grab an appropriately autumnally stitch marker. Autumnal, not autumnally. Autumnal stitch marker. And then I will just pop this baby. Not around that stitch, because that stitch still needs to be worked. Come on. I'll pop that on, so that next time I show this, we will see how far I have made it. Anyhow, loving that project. There will be 25, I think that was a 25, might have been a 24 stitch mini advent calendar. And that is living in there. And then that leads us to my final start of the past 2 weeks. And it is a knitting start. And that would be Lyrical Knits As You Wish. Inconceivable Mystery Knit Along. It started today. Clue 1 came out today. And I had to start it. So if you are doing the Inconceivable Mystery Knit Along, and you do not want to see a very little bit of the first clue, look away now. If you aren't a knitter, or you're not knitting this, feel free to hang out. There we go. That is as far as we are. Excuse the tail. Whoop, right there. I'm in the fire swamp right now. See? Fire swamp. Flame. I am enjoying this. It's sweet. It's fun. We'll see how it continues. It's a mystery, so I don't know. It's inconceivable. But I am having a blast. A blast with all the jokes that are written into the pattern, because it's for geeks like me. We are foraging through the fire swamp right now. I think I'll make a summer home. I'm enjoying that one. I am using size 6, 4.0 millimeter, which is the called for needle size. And I am using some Cannon hand dyes that I had from one of her clubs. I have a whole bunch. That's what this whole bin is right here. These are all Cannon hand dyes yarns from 2 or 3 of her book clubs. So I had Jane Eyre, Wuthering Heights, and Hunchback of Notre Dame. Then I realized I have way too much yarn, especially just from her. I mean, her yarns are gorgeous, which is why I kept doing it. And I wasn't using them, so I'm like, I can't join any more of her literature book knitting clubs, yarn clubs, not knitting, yarn clubs. So I've held back. Her yarn clubs were really fun because you'd get yarns based on the book, and then you would read the book that you were getting the yarns from, and then you'd have book discussions. Be still, my beating heart. Book clubs and knitting? Take my money. And she did. several times. And hopefully, once I have some of this knit down, I can join in again because I loved doing those. They were really fun. So I do not know whether that was a Wuthering Heights or a Jane Eyre or a Hunchback of Notre Dame. And by the way, Hunchback of Notre Dame, I hate Esmeralda. I really do. When she's finally killed at the end and she's burnt at the stake, I think she's burnt at a stake, I'm just like, yes! Yes! Die! Oh, I really hated her. Oh, what's that? What's that, cat of mine? You want to be out? Cue shocked face. I will be right back again. Oh, I don't think I ever mentioned what I'm wearing. This is the Turtle Dove by Pearl Soho? I think it's Pearl Soho. In Woolfolk Loft. And I love this. Love this sweater. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's cozy and comfy and gives me life, and it's chilly out. I have no clue what's going on outside, but it sounds strange. Right, so I think that is the last of the whips. Do you think that was enough? I don't know if I do, because I'm half tempted to start like 3 more things, which we'll get to in just a moment. So let's get on to stash. I don't have too much, because, well, I just don't. I was in Silver Needle's Circle of Friends? Company of Friends? Something like that. Their group last year. And I got the last one, which is Autumn Garden by Scarlet House. And, oh, I like this one. I like this one a lot. It's very cute. I mean, you've got sunflowers and crows and houses and alphabets. What can you go wrong with? Really love this. I think, I don't know if I'm going to sign up for it again this year. But I might, because I saw who's going to be in it for next year. I went, ooh, I like all of them. Have I stitched any of these from this year? No. No, I haven't. But I can, because they're fully kitted. Even to finishing stuff. Anyway, that is the only cross-stitch thing I got. Another thing I got, which I am not counting as yarn for this year. I did a, oh, what are they? I backed a Kickstarter-y type thing for a local farm, and they were supposed to send multiple shipments of yarn and such over the course of last year, because I paid the year before. And finally, at some point late last year, I got this from them, which is a glorious yarn, don't get me wrong. But that's all I'd seen. Today, not today, last week? End of the week before. This showed up. So I have 2 more skeins from that farm. I'm never going to back them again. I understand things happen and issues happen, but communication is a thing and people should do it. If you don't, I'm less likely to want to give you a couple $100. Anyhow, their yarns are gorgeous either way. Their yarns are absolutely squishy, delicious wonderfulness because they are non-superwash. And I have a big old heart on for non-superwash right now. I am in love with it. This is M&P Ranch's Targhee. Gotta love a good Targhee. And these are both naturally dyed with, oh, I forgot. Madder. It doesn't say on here, I just remembered. No, see, really, it doesn't say on here. I just remembered. And the 2 different colors that you get from here, from these dyes with the same thing is with the, oh, there's a word. Have you mordant. Got it. The different mordants used to give you different colors. And this is gorgeous, and I love them. Oh, I wish I could have you squish this yarn. These are fingering weights. They are fingering weights. Yeah, they're about a fingering weight. 100% Targhee. 425 yards in 100 grams. That's fingering weight. No clue what I'm going to do with these. Tempted with socks. Ooh. Maybe next month socks. Maybe not. Oh, squish. The squish factor is delightful. And then I have my Trilogy Yarns. I'm doing her Broadway musicals club, and this one was based on Miss Saigon. Here's the little playbill for Miss Saigon, and there is the yarn based on said playbill. And these are fingering weight. Nancy does beautiful yarns, gorgeous yarns. And I'm getting it on her plush base, which is just her fingering. Correct? Just her fingering? No, it's her MCN. This is an MCN. Did I sign up for MCN or just sign up for... I do not recall if signing up for Trilogy Yarns Broadway Yarn Club does an assortment of colors, or if you sign up for a specific assortment of bases, or if she just sends you whatever base. I do not remember. Either way, this is her MCN, her merino cashmere nylon. And gorgeous. I mean, look at the look at the colors. Like right there, right there, right there, right there, and little bits of black. Ah, yeah. Lovely, gorgeous, delicious, and delightful. And that, yes. That was all my stash. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I think it's even right. Like there has to have been something. No, I don't think there was. But future stash. Future stash, people. Have you seen Nashville? Have you seen the needlework market stuff coming out? I will have things to say about that in a little bit. But let's go with the good stuff. Good stuff. Nashville Needlework Market has some gorgeous things coming out. There is the, oh, I wrote it down. The Caramels Bestiary by Ingleside Imaginarium. That chart. That chart is screaming my name loudly. Just, Lee! Lee, you really want me. You really, really, really do. And Hannah Dawson, 1831 by Fox and Rabbit. I love the giant house. The giant brick house. It's a brick house. It's just like this big. I don't honestly know how big it is, but it's a huge house. I love Hannah Dawson. It's gorgeous. It's a beautiful chart. There was also... I wrote down those two and I haven't been right. I'm trying not to buy anything. I'm gonna fail, but I'm trying not to. There was, oh, what was it? It's a blue vase of some kind. Not vase from Thrace, a different vase. I remember the vase from Thrace because I liked the name. It's not a chart I want to stitch, but I loved the name. But this is a different vase and it's blue and white and gorgeous, and don't remember the name, so. Anyhow, loving some of the stuff that's coming out of the needlework market right now. Nashville. I think I'm going to have to get the Caramels Bestiary and Hannah Dawson though. And maybe a couple others. I'm making a list. I'm checking it twice. I'm going to try not to buy it because I have plenty, but they're pretty. Future plans. Plans. Because I just did stash. Plans. Plans for this week. I will knit. Whoop. Will stitch on my Maidens of the Season for the last part of the month. We'll see how many days I actually work on her because I'm doing over one skin. I haven't started her. I'm going to probably start her tonight or tomorrow. Depends on how long this takes to edit and upload. But that is my plan for the rest of this week. Work on Maidens of the Season. Maybe get more of summer's skin done. Be good. I will then be waiting patiently for Jessie Marie Does Stuff to release the numbers for Whip Go for next month. She usually does that around like the 27th or the 24th or the not the 22nd. We have days to wait before it comes out. But when that happens, I will see what numbers pop up, because so far I'm 2 for 2. Got both of January's, got both of February's. Now, let's see if I can get both of March's. That would be fantastic. Yes, it would. Yes, it would. So I will wait and see what she pulls. I will be doing my Modern Folk Embroidery March release when it is March and Jacob releases the next portion of the Dutch name I cannot pronounce. I will do that portion for March. And then Anne Grimshaw is going to go by the wayside. She's not going to be coming out. But I will be working on my Anne Grimshaw. No, not my Anne Grimshaw. Just said she was going away. No, my Jane Reese. I'll be working on my Jane Reese and seeing how many more of the alphabets I can get done. Loving all that glorious red, gorgeous alphabetness. I will also be working on my 25/7. Easily get that one finished before next time. Wonder what my spinning wheel will give me next. I believe I will be working more on that glorious Bayeux cat. Love it. I will work on more on my... No, I already told you I was working on my maidens this week. That's probably all I will work on cross-stitch wise unless I decide to start more. Knitting wise, I have signed up for Sock Madness again, and that will be starting March, beginning of March. The qualifying round will start. If you have not heard of Sock Madness before, let me tell you about it. It is a thing on Ravelry. I'm sorry if you can't use Ravelry and it bothers your brain, but that is where it lives. It is a thing on Ravelry called Sock Madness, where you sign up and around the 1st of March-ish, they release a pattern. A sock pattern, obviously. It's called Sock Madness. It's a sock pattern. And you then have to stitch said sock to specifications written in the rules and in the pattern. You try and get it done within 2 weeks. If you succeed in the qualifying round, then hey, you make a team. If you only get one sock done, you make it onto the cheerleaders. That's honestly where I'm aiming for this year, because life and stuff going on might change how much energy and stuff I have. We'll get to that in life stuff. So I'm hoping I make a team. When I've made teams in the past, I make it into the slowest team, because yes, they divide you up into basically into how fast you can knit. I am not that fast. So I'm usually in the slowest, if not, I'm in the slower teams, if not the slowest. I am not on the Finns team. Those Finns, they sneeze socks. I mean, they can get a sock done in like a day. Pair of socks, here you go, done. Beyond me. Anyhow. If you make it to a team, then different rounds of socks come out. I think there's 7. First sock round is now timed, and elimination rounds. So let's pretend you have 25 people on a team. Just making up numbers here. Only 24, no 22. Only 22 will go on. So of the 25 people on your team, at least 3 aren't going to make it. And again, you're stitching to knitting to specifications in both the pattern. You have to do it exactly as written by the person. If they tell you to use a specific cast on, you use that specific cast on. If they tell you to slip knit a specific way, you slip knit that specific way. You knit it to at least fit a women's size 7, US 7 size foot, or 9 inches of a foot. Those are the basic rules. Follow all the rules, and you might get on. If you don't follow all the rules and you turn in a sock in time, but you didn't follow the pattern, you don't continue on. And it's an enjoyable thing. I'm less there for the speed part of the knitting. I'm more there for the camaraderie, because a lot of the time these socks will be difficult or confusing, or not necessarily confusing, but difficult, or doing things that you're not used to, and therefore that's where I came up with a confusing word. They help you reach out to try new things in your knitting. It can be very fun. And everyone there is so helpful. You're all working on the same pattern, so if you have a question, you ask and you get a lot of help. When I first did my first one years ago, when I first did my first Sock Madness, I was just like, yikes, there's no way I can knit these socks. They're too hard. And I had so much help. It expanded my knitting capabilities, and the community is really supportive and helpful, and that is why I craft, for the community of support and help. Community is a good thing. It needs to be a large community with lots of people welcome. That's what makes a community. And helpful. And I love Sock Madness, and it is fun. I just don't think I'm going to get very far this year. Last year, the socks didn't work for me. I had no interest in a couple of them, and I just couldn't get myself to knit them. I think I made it to round 3, maybe 4, before I couldn't. There was too much going on, and I just didn't make it one of the rounds. I just didn't. Anyway, all of the patterns are free. They are donated by the designers for the competition. At the end of the competition, and everybody who makes it onto cheerleader gets all of the patterns, which is fantastic. If you put in good effort, you get all the patterns. Like, even if you're knocked out first round, you're still going to get the patterns for round 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After Sock Madness is over, the designers will then release the patterns, usually for sale. Every once in a while, one will be free, or one won't be released, or whatever. It's always up to the designer to do what they wish with their designs. And I have always found it very amazingly generous that the designers do this. So when a sock doesn't call to me, and I don't have an interest in knitting it, nothing against the designer, that's just my personal preference. I still think the designer is amazing for volunteering their effort and time, because not only do they donate their patterns, they donate their time, because when their pattern is being stitched, they are available to answer questions. The designer is right there in the group, answering questions and helping people. So not only are they donating a physical object, i.e. the pattern, they donate their time and their effort and their work. So I find that absolutely fantastic, and hooray for them. So, like I said, if it is a pattern I don't care for, well, not everybody has the same taste. That's why there's so many patterns. Aren't we lucky? Nothing against the designer. We just have different ideas of what we want to do. Kind of fun. I kind of like it. And I can still see the gorgeousness that other people create. I can knit vicariously through them. Right. Other than that, I have a couple more new starts I want to do for my cross stitch. I told you I was kitting things up. And while I was kitting things up, I found one of my old kitted up things. It's living in here. And it's been living in here for a long time. What's living in here, you say? Well, let me show you. And I have everything. I have the fabric, the other fabric. Yes, there's 2 fabrics. Looks like I still have a list of DMC I need to do. This is 36 count Morning Dove. And this is 36 count Antique White. I have fancy flosses, that's hard to say. These are crescent colors. Yes, crescent colors. I don't think they're called that anymore. But that's how long this has been living in here, all happily kitted up. I have my list of DMC, evidently, that I need to still buy. But Lee, we don't care about any of this. Show us the chart. It's a whole bunch of things. Let me pull this out. This is the sewing chest of Nantucket Sister Sailors. Oh, the picture came off. Sarah Elliott, and this is Primitive Traditions, I think, is who made it. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. So this is literally a photograph. Let's see if I can. So I bought this as a kit years and years and years ago. So you have this glorious chest, and I have the chest downstairs in my basement. And by basement, I mean my library. It's not a basement, it's just downstairs. You have this whole chart that you can make here. You have this bit, this bit, this bit. Like, there's a lot of little things. You have a fob and a needle book and something else in there. There is a lot to this thing. And, ooh, let's see if I can read what it says. The man doomed to sail with the, blast of the gale through billows Atlantic to steer, as he bends o'er the wave, which may soon be his grave, remember his home with a tear. It's tiny. And then, to no particular lot of life is happiness confined, but in the self-approving heart and firm contented mind. That's the little needle-ish book thing. Anyhow, I've had this for ages, like I said. And I might have to start this. Sarah Elliott's sewing chest. And there's a whole story involved that the person who designed this created. Let me see. Can I find any of that information? Or is it all hidden? Finishing instructions, and this is why I've never started this one. I'm terrified to finish it. I mean, that means like I ever finish anything. But I am terrified to do all the finishing, to get this put onto the top of said box. Okay, this Biscornu, I can do a Biscornu. I've done Biscornus in the past. That one I can pull off. The scissor fob, maybe I can do a scissor fob. A needle book up here, I don't know. I think this is, I don't know if that's a needle book or a cushion or what that is. I don't even remember what else in here. And yeah, I have a couple other bits and bobs thrown in here. Oh, there's the piece I was looking for. There's a whole story about why she created it and what she envisioned and what she imagined. She's all, oh yeah, I've decided that Sarah Elliott is the wife of a captain, and she's going to go off with him. And this is her little chest of sewing goods that she takes with her, and you know, she created a story for why she created this object of a collection of objects for stitching. But I am terrified to try and finish this, and it terrified me so much that I just never started it. But I need to get over both those fears. So this may be started this month. Maybe this week. Well, if it's going to be this month, it will be this week. It is the 22nd. There's only 28 days. But this may get started this month or next, because it is really calling to me, and I think it would be neat. And then I would just have all the pieces done, and I could just shove them in the drawer of doom. Or beg people to help me find someone who can do the finishing. I will throw money at them. Intimidated. Much intimidation. She has finishing instructions in there. I'm just a wimp. Right. So that is my plans. So let's get on to life. Right. Let's get the easy one out. I still have not heard from my radiologist. Now, technically, this is on my impatience. It was 6 weeks after my surgery. 5 to 6 weeks after my surgery, I'd be hearing from her. Thursday was my 6th week. So, she's not late in calling me. I'm just impatient and want to start. If I don't hear from her by Thursday, I will be contacting her, however, because I want this done. So, that is also why I am slow rolling-ish my thoughts on how far I will get in Sock Madness, because I do know I will be doing radiation in March. And I don't know what that will do for me energy-wise. Don't have a clue. Maybe nothing at all. Maybe I'll be taking 8-hour naps. Who knows? Who knows? I don't. And that is why I'm not trying to be like, I'm going to make it to the last round. I've never made it to the last round. I think I've made it to the 6th round, but I've never made it any farther. So, right. There's that. And then there's, okay, let me just say this. Beyond health. We've moved past health. Cross your fingers that I'll get a call and get this started. Now on to the other things. First, supporting and backing BIPOC designers, makers, is not canceling white designers and makers. It's just inviting more people to the party. That's not a bad thing. Diversity is good. We can give it 2 thumbs up. More things, more objects, more choices, more people involved, new ideas. Supporting BIPOC is not canceling white makers. Just, it's not. It's supporting BIPOC makers. That's all it is. Second, it's 2022. 2022. And if you think you need, I mean, here's my, I'm on my soapbox right now. I don't know if you noticed that when I began. After the health thing, I climbed onto my soapbox and I am standing on my soapbox. You can agree, you can disagree. It's a free country, we get to say what we want. So, just for your knowledge, I am on my soapbox. It's 2022, and if you think you need a Confederate flag, and you're not a museum, bye. Just bye. I mean, I guess technically reenactors, I'm lumping them into museums because they do historically accurate historic stuff. So yeah, if you're cross-stitching something new, you don't need to put a Confederate flag on it in any way, shape, or form. You really don't. I don't care if you're cross-stitching something that is calling back to history. I can call back to World War II. I'm not going to stitch a swastika. I'm not going to stitch a Nazi flag because I am calling back to Germany in the 40s and the 30s. Nope. No. If you think you need a Confederate flag on your stitching in 2022, I disagree. It's not your heritage, it's hate. And if your heritage is slavery, take a good look at yourself. Right. Oh, and yeah. and if you find that this conflicts, my, hey, get rid of your Confederate flags, conflicts with my, hey, BIPOC makers, we need to have diversity inclusion stuff, it's the tolerance paradox. That's all it is, people. It's not hypocrisy, it's the tolerance paradox. Tolerance. You don't get to tolerate everything and still get inclusion. You don't get to tolerate everything and still have diversity. If I'm sitting at a table with someone who is a white supremacist and I'm not saying anything, and I know said person is a white supremacist and I'm not saying anything, no black person is going to sit down at that table with me. Why? There's a white supremacist right there. Are they going to feel included if they sit down? No. No, they won't. In fact, they will feel the exact opposite. They will feel excluded. They can't change their skin color or their history. White supremacist is an opinion, and a bad one. They can change, or they can leave. And if you have a problem with diversity and inclusion, then I have a problem with you. And now, I shall get down off of my soapbox. If you made it through all of that, there will be edits, because there will be. If you made it through all of that, thank you. I hope that we can all enjoy each other. No, I don't. I hope that people remember knitting, stitching, crafting has always been political. Don't tell me to shut up and knit. It's always been political. It always will be. More people at the table is a good thing. Take care, everyone. Take care of yourself. Take care of your loved ones. Take care of your friends. And let's make this whole crafty world welcoming to welcoming, just welcoming. Take care, all. I'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll see what I've done. Will I only have 1 new start? No, I'll technically have 2. I'll technically have 2 new starts. At least we'll have 1 because of my 25/7. I'm likely going to start this. Who knows what else I'm going to work on, people? I honestly don't know. I'm going to get going. I'm going to edit. I'm going to upload. I'm going to cross my fingers for everybody that's dealing with crazy weather, because there's been some wild, wild weather in other parts of the world. Storms, trees falling, floods, snow. Yeah. Take care. Just going to go back to that. Take care. Take care of yourself, people. And be good to yourself. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye. Oh, the editing.